computer prodigy Derek Jacobs died at 18 in a motorcycle accident. And like, I don't want to trivialise the issue, there was a death involved, but it showcased Verichip did nothing. Verichip didn't save the kid. He had a motorcycle accident. The universe is hostile, and the kid died. So for all the parents out there that want to microchip their daughters, you know, to stop them from, you know, being attacked by pedophiles, the chip does not solve the inherent issues that man has. Like, you inherently have good people and you inherently have evil people, and you inherently have bad, you know, not inherently, but some days you have bad luck. Anyway, moving on. The target markets for Verichip, basically everyone. It starts with, there's actually a Facebook campaign that has got more users than our group does, which is to put a satellite tracking chip in all pedophiles. Now, I've actually contacted the lady, and I said to her, how's that going to stop a pedophile from attacking a child? I said, it doesn't actually solve the mental issues that the pedophile has. And she was of the opinion that he could be GPS tracked, and before he attacked the child. Anyway, see, but this is the problem we're fighting. Unless we understand the technology, how it's been presented in the media, it's presented as the magic bullet. It is presented through the media, and we've been conditioned to think, you know, James Bond has a microchip. If it's good enough for him, it's good enough for everyone. The illegal immigrants, the Alzheimer patients who can't make up their minds have chosen to get microchipped, even though they forgot they got microchipped. The illegal immigrants, every time there's some Mexicans coming over the border in Texas, Verichip releases a press release that they can solve it. And if you're in the military, we're getting a lot of emails from the military, simply because we need to understand that Raytheon actually has the contract, or it produces the Verichip. So you're one contract away, basically, from having, you know, the dog tags, the dogs of war, basically being tagged like dogs. Another play on words. Anyway, government workers, and I can say anyone dependent on the state. If this becomes mandated, if you're dependent on the state, it's going to be a tough road ahead unless preventative legislation comes in. Now, this is when Verichip basically became a two-trick pony. They signed a deal with a company called Receptors, and what Receptors is basically introducing a pathogen receptor component to the actual Verichip for glucose sensing for diabetics, and also for other biological threats, including the H1N1, SARS, you name it, basically. So what would happen is you get the microchip installed into you, or surgically implanted. The diabetic, rather than actually pricking himself 5 to 6 times a day, he just scans himself once and goes, this is just great. Apart from the fact that he might get cancer, but that's another issue. We need to understand on how this company is going to market. It's going into market in so many demographics, and it is funded by IBM, so it's not going away. There's a glucose sensing component, and how it works is the sample is presented, it goes through, if it's a virus, depending on which virus it is, it goes through another loop, another checkpoint if you like. It then says it's clear, and if it's not, it can then go to, I like the way they've got H, X and Y, because Baxter must obviously be making some new variations in the lab as well. And then you have SARS as well. So what you're looking at, you're one deal away with the World Health Organization and the CDC to actually have a product that can solve all of man's woes, from payment. Okay. Where's it moving to? Tying your financial records, credit monitoring and reporting. So, you can actually, where Verichip is going, they're adding more services to the actual product. So you could go for a job, you have the Verichip, they go, well, look, let's query the services that you have on the Verichip, we'll check your financial report. They also promote identity, prevention of identity theft as well, and then a national criminal database monitoring and background search. So when you look at it, this is becoming a product that is offering so many services that a government could say, look, this can solve all our issues. But more than that, it is something that is totally invasive. The question we always get asked is, can you be tracked off satellite? Not right now. The very chip, basically the antenna in it is too small to actually be read. They are working on the personal location device, as Scott Silverman mentioned in the beginning. That would have to actually be a much larger chip. But we do have 29 low Earth orbiting satellites called, from the Orbcomm, that once the very chip is out there, well, you won't get lost and you can throw away your nav man because they'll know where you are. Okay, how does RFID work? This is IBM at play. You walk into the store, they assign you a number, they see where you walk. This is based on the RFID products that you have on you. This person was lazy, or what's happening? There he is. Here we go. Now, he's breezing or just looking at the window. He might have no money. He can't afford to go into the store. And all this information is being collected on you without you even knowing. The patents are there. There's the patent 2002 1065 758. And what will happen is, once you have payloads, actual sensors within the flooring, if someone is overweight, what will happen is eventually the RFID will communicate that the person who's walking is overweight, and then the prices of chips or any product that makes one fat will actually increase because the data is all going to be correlated and communicating with each other. So what it is, it's about finding out exactly who you are, monetizing you, and basically reducing you to an income stream. So that's IBM. Now, BOCODES. This is radio frequency ID on steroids. When this came out, it actually floored me. It comes from the same camp by MIT, which brought us the RFID. It can store 1 million times more data than a similar sized barcode. But the thing about the BOCODE is it doesn't actually require a battery to be read. It basically utilises the measuring brightness and angle of light rays. So what that means is a camera can actually read it at a distance. Now, where the global surveillance all comes in, all CCTV cameras can then track all products that have BOCODES. You then have a total web of surveillance. And if you went out and spoke to the average person, you could go query 100,000 people out here in London and no one would have even heard of a BOCODE. So we wonder why the CCTVs are out there. Anyway, how does a brown coffee cup work? Greg buys it, he throws it, it travels along the line, I dispose of it incorrectly, the sensors pick it up, it ends up in the wrong landfill area, and then I get issued a fine. Because I didn't actually know that Starbucks had put an RFID chip in my cup. And these are real world applications that are happening now.